I'm standing in the doorway watching my wife get ready, and something's wrong. Very wrong. Melissa's wearing a dress I've never seen before. Tight black number that hugs every curve, designer heels that cost more than my monthly truck payment, and she's applying makeup like she's heading to a photo shoot. The perfume hits me from 10 feet away, heavy and expensive. She looks absolutely stunning, more effort than she's put into her appearance in months, more effort than she's made for any of our dates in the past year. "Where are you going?" I ask, leaning against the doorframe. She doesn't look up from the mirror. My ex needs support. I blink. What kind of support? He's going through a rough time. She applies lipstick with surgical precision, the kind of deep red that screams, "Notice me." I should be with him tonight. He's like family. Like family. Right. I process this while watching her grab a purse I've never seen either. Small, black, probably cost more than my weekly salary from the construction company. "You're dressed up like this for your ex?" Now she turns, defensive. "I'm just looking nice, Nick. Is that a crime? What about us tonight? We talked about dinner and a movie." She waves her hand dismissively. "We can do dinner anytime. This is important." She's walking toward the door when I say it, quiet but clear. "Go." Melissa stops, turns back with surprise written across her perfectly made-up face. "Really?" I nod. "Yeah, go." She hesitates for maybe 3 seconds, like she expected an argument, then shrugs and leaves. The door closes with a soft click, and I count to 10. Then I grab my keys. Following someone isn't rocket science when you know their habits. Melissa drives her white BMW like she's afraid of scratching it. Never goes more than 5 over the speed limit. Always signals early. I stay 3 cars back in my beat-up Ford pickup, watching her navigate downtown traffic. She parks outside Vertigo, the upscale club where drinks cost $20, and everyone pretends they're more important than they are. I park across the street and wait 5 minutes before going in. The music hits me like a wall, some electronic garbage that passes for dancing music these days. I stick to the shadows, scanning the crowd until I spot her. She's on the dance floor and she's not alone. Brandon Crane, her ex from college, the real estate hotshot with the perfect smile and the expensive suits. Right now, his hands are on her hips, and she's grinding against him like they're auditioning for a music video. She's laughing, flipping her hair, touching his chest. This isn't family support. This is foreplay with an audience. I pull out my phone and call Emma. "Nick, what's wrong?" Emma Fields has been Melissa's best friend since college, but she's always been straight with me. If anyone deserves to see this, it's her. "You need to see this," I tell her, watching my wife run her fingers through another man's hair. "I'm at Vertigo downtown. Get here now." "What's going on?" "Just come. You'll understand when you see it." 20 minutes later, Emma appears beside me. She's shorter than Melissa, brunette where my wife is blonde, and she doesn't need an hour of makeup to look good. Right now, she looks confused and worried. "What am I supposed to be?" She stops mid-sentence, following my gaze to the dance floor. Melissa and Brandon are making out now. Full contact, hands everywhere, completely lost in each other. My wife's fingers are tangled in his hair, and his hands are roaming places that definitely aren't appropriate for family support. "Oh my God," Emma whispers. I'm recording everything now, making sure to get clear shots with timestamps. They're so wrapped up in each other they don't notice the guy with the phone 10 feet away. After 5 minutes of documentation, I look at Emma. "Ready?" She nods, jaw set in a hard line. "Let's go." We approach together. Emma taps Melissa hard on the shoulder, and my wife turns around. The color drains from her face so fast, I think she might faint. Brandon takes one look at us and melts back into the crowd, like the coward he's always been. "This isn't what it looks like," Melissa stammers. Emma laughs, but there's no humor in it. "Really? Because it looks like you're making out with your ex while your husband sits at home." I hold up my phone. Got it all recorded. High definition. "You followed me?" Melissa's voice cracks. You lied to me, I reply simply. Emma steps closer to Melissa, and I can see years of friendship dissolving in real time. Family support? Seriously, I'm done covering for you. This gets my attention. Covering for her? Not anymore, Emma says, glaring at Melissa. Tell him about the other times. Emma, shut up, Melissa hisses. But Emma's done being loyal to someone who doesn't deserve it. The girls' nights that weren't girls' nights. The work dinners that were dates with him. The shopping trips where she bought new clothes she hid from you. Each revelation hits like a physical blow. Months of lies, months of secret meetings while I worked overtime to pay for her lifestyle. I should have told you sooner, Emma says to me. I'm sorry. I look at my wife, really look at her. The expensive dress, the perfect makeup, the guilt written across her features. We're done. I turn and walk away. Emma follows, leaving Melissa standing alone on the dance floor while people stare and whisper. Outside, my phone starts buzzing. Melissa's calling, texting, probably panicking. I block her number and hand my phone to Emma. Block her on yours too. Emma does it without hesitation. I'm sorry, Nick. I really am. Not your fault. We stand there for a moment, the bass from the club thumping through the walls. Emma looks up at me, and something passes between us. Understanding, maybe. Or possibility. You hungry? She asks. Starving. We find an all-night diner 6 blocks away, the kind of place with cracked vinyl booths and coffee that could strip paint. Emma slides into the seat across from me, and we talk until 3 in the morning. She was stupid to risk you, Emma says at one point, reaching across to touch my hand. The contact sends electricity up my arm. Emma's always been attractive, but I've never let myself think about it. Now, with my marriage officially over and her friendship with Melissa destroyed, the rules have changed. Always thought you deserved better, she continues. My phone buzzes. Melissa calling from a different number. Neither of us answers. What happens now? Emma asks. I look at this woman who chose honesty over loyalty, who stood by me when it mattered. I guess we figure it out. Emma smiles, and for the first time in months, I feel like I can breathe. The next morning hits like a hangover, except I wasn't drinking. I'm in my kitchen, staring at coffee I don't remember making, when I hear Melissa's car in the driveway. She comes through the front door like she owns the place, which, legally, she still does. Her makeup is smeared, the expensive dress wrinkled, and she looks like she spent the night in her car. We need to talk, she announces. No, we don't. Nick, please, last night was a mistake. I turn to face her fully. Which part? Lying to me, dressing up for another man, or grinding on him like a stripper? She flinches. It's not what you think. I think you've been cheating on me for months. Emma confirmed it. I have video evidence. What exactly am I supposed to be wrong about? Melissa tries a different approach. Tears. They come easily, probably from practice. I was confused. Brandon and I have history, but it doesn't mean anything. History. I laugh, but there's no humor in it. Is that what we're calling it? You don't understand. He's going through a divorce, and you thought you'd help him practice for the dating scene? The tears stop. Just like that, the mask slips, and I see the real Melissa, cold, calculating, caught. Fine, she snaps. Yes, I've been seeing Brandon, but our marriage has been dead for months, Nick. We both know it. I didn't know it. I was working 60-hour weeks to pay for your lifestyle while you were playing house with your ex. My lifestyle? Her voice rises. You mean having nice things, going to decent restaurants, not living like college students forever? I mean the $2,000 shopping trips, the spa days, the designer clothes you apparently save for other men. She opens her mouth to argue, then closes it. We both know she can't defend that. I want you out, I tell her. This is my house too. Then we'll sell it. Get a lawyer, file the papers, split everything down the middle, but I want you out of here today. Melissa's face hardens. You'll regret this. I already regret it. I regret the last 3 years of my life. She storms upstairs to pack, slamming doors and making as much noise as possible. I don't care. I'm already planning my next move. My phone rings. Emma. How are you holding up? Better than expected. She's packing now. Good. Listen, I've been thinking about what I said last night, about covering for her. What about it? There's more. Things I didn't tell you. I sit down heavily. How much more? Can I come over? This isn't phone conversation material. 20 minutes later, Emma's sitting across from me at my kitchen table while Melissa crashes around upstairs like a hurricane. Emma looks nervous, fidgeting with her coffee cup. She's been planning this for months, Emma says finally. Planning what? Leaving you. But not until she had everything lined up perfectly. I feel something cold settle in my stomach. Explain. Brandon's divorce is almost final. He's keeping the house, the business, everything. Melissa's been waiting for that to be settled before she made her move. So last night was supposed to be the beginning of her exit strategy. She was going to start being more obvious, make you suspicious, then play the victim when you confronted her. Victim how? Emma looks uncomfortable. She was going to claim you were controlling, maybe even abusive. Make it look like she had to seek comfort from Brandon because you were so awful to her. The crashes from upstairs stop. Melissa's listening. But you showing up last night ruined that plan, Emma continues. She couldn't play victim when she was caught red-handed. How do you know all this? Because she told me. She wanted me to back up her story when the time came. I stare at Emma. And would you have? She meets my eyes. I was going to. Until last night. Seeing you standing there, watching her destroy you, I couldn't do it anymore. Footsteps on the stairs. Melissa appears with 2 suitcases, her face a mask of cold fury. Leaving so soon? I ask. I'll be back for the rest of my things. With Brandon? She doesn't answer, but the slight tightening around her eyes tells me everything. Tell him I said congratulations, I continue. He's getting exactly what he deserves. Melissa looks at Emma. I hope you're happy. 20 years of friendship down the drain. 18 years, Emma corrects. And you threw it away the minute you asked me to lie for you. We'll see how long this lasts, Melissa sneers, gesturing between Emma and me. Rebound relationships never do. Good thing this isn't a rebound, Emma replies calmly. After Melissa leaves, the house feels different. Lighter, maybe. Emma helps me change the locks. She knows a guy who owes her a favor. We work in comfortable silence, and I find myself watching her hands as she holds the screws steady. What are you thinking about? She asks, catching me staring. How long have you felt like this? She doesn't pretend not to understand. About you? Probably since the wedding. That's a long time to keep quiet. You were married to my best friend. I had to keep quiet. And now? She looks at me directly. Now she's not my best friend anymore. That evening, we order pizza and sit on my couch watching old movies. It feels natural, comfortable in a way things with Melissa never did. Emma laughs at the right parts, doesn't check her phone every 5 minutes, and when she curls up against my side during the second movie, it feels like the most natural thing in the world. This is nice, she murmurs. Yeah, it is. My phone buzzes. Text from unknown number. Enjoy it while it lasts. I show Emma, who rolls her eyes. She never could handle losing gracefully. Think she'll cause trouble? Emma considers this. Probably. Melissa doesn't like being the bad guy in any story. Let her try. I've got nothing to hide anymore. Famous last words. I should have known Melissa wouldn't go quietly. It starts on Monday morning when I show up at the Henderson job site. I'm renovating their kitchen. Good money, nice people, the kind of project that usually makes my day. But when I knock on the door, Mrs. Henderson won't quite meet my eyes. Nick, I'm sorry, but we've decided to go with someone else. I blink. Ma'am? We're halfway through the job. I know, and we'll pay you for the work you've done, but… She glances over her shoulder like someone might be listening. We heard some things about your personal life. What kind of things? She looks miserable. About how you treat women. We have a daughter, and we just don't feel comfortable. My blood turns to ice. Mrs. Henderson, who told you this? I can't say. I'm sorry, Nick, really. But I already know. There's only one person who would spread that kind of poison. I drive straight to Emma's apartment. She takes one look at my face and lets me in without a word. She's started a campaign, I tell her. What kind of campaign? I explain about the Henderson job, about the vague accusations of mistreating women. Emma's face grows darker with each word. That's exactly what she planned to do, Emma says. I told you she was going to paint you as abusive to justify leaving. Can she actually hurt my business with this? If people believe her, yeah. Reputation is everything in your line of work. I sit down hard on Emma's couch. So what do I do? Emma's quiet for a long moment, thinking. Then she gets that look. The one that means she's about to suggest something either brilliant or dangerous. We fight back. How? The same way she's fighting. Information warfare. She disappears into her bedroom and comes back with a laptop. Her fingers fly over the keyboard. Melissa's not as smart as she thinks she is, Emma says. She's been sloppy. What do you mean? Emma turns the laptop toward me. It's Melissa's social media profile, and she's been busy. Photos of her and Brandon at expensive restaurants, tagged locations, timestamps. Look at the dates, Emma says. I look. My stomach drops. These are from 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago. She's been documenting their relationship this whole time, probably planning to use it as evidence that she'd moved on after you became impossible to live with. But now it just looks like she's been cheating for months and bragging about it online. Emma grins. She posted these thinking she'd control the narrative later. Instead, she's created a timeline that proves everything. I study the photos more carefully. Expensive dinners, weekend trips, shopping excursions, all while I was working overtime to pay our bills. There's more, Emma says, clicking to another screen. She's been using the credit card you pay for to fund these dates. She's right. Restaurant charges, hotel bills, shopping sprees, all on the card I've been faithfully paying off each month. How did you get access to this? She gave me her passwords years ago, never changed them. I look at Emma with new respect. You're devious. I prefer thorough. Now, what do we do with all this information? The answer comes to me slowly, then all at once. We tell the truth. I start with Mrs. Henderson. I show up at her door with printouts of Melissa's social media posts, credit card statements, and the timeline Emma helped me create. Mrs. Henderson, I understand your concerns, but I think you've been given some false information. I walk her through everything. The months of secret dating, the lies, the financial betrayal. By the time I'm done, she's shaking her head. I'm so sorry, Nick. Mrs. Crane called me yesterday and said, Mrs. Crane? Brandon's mother. She said you'd been stalking your wife, that she had to get a restraining order. The hits keep coming. Ma'am, there's no restraining order. You can call the police and verify that. She does, right there in front of me. The confusion on her face when she hangs up tells me everything. There's no record of any restraining order, she says slowly. Because there isn't one. Mrs. Crane lied to you. But why would she? Because her son is dating a married woman, and they're trying to rewrite history to make themselves look better. Mrs. Henderson stares at the photos again. These are from months ago? Check the timestamps. While they were having these romantic dinners, I was working 16-hour days to afford her lifestyle. Oh my God. Nick, I'm so sorry. Do you want to finish the kitchen? Yes, ma'am. I'd be happy to. But I'm not done. If Melissa wants to play dirty, I can play dirty too. I spend the rest of the week systematically contacting everyone in our social circle. I don't badmouth Melissa. I don't have to. I just show them the evidence and let them draw their own conclusions. The response is swift and brutal. By Friday, Melissa's lost 3 friends on social media, been uninvited from 2 upcoming parties, and had her gym membership questioned when other members complained about her moral character. Emma helps with the research, and I'm learning things about my wife I never knew, like the fact that she's been telling people for months that our marriage was over, or that she's been asking friends to set up Brandon with job opportunities in other cities. She was planning to move, Emma tells me over dinner Friday night. Look at this. She shows me apartment listings in Brandon's name, all in cities where his business has potential expansion opportunities. She was going to disappear, I realize, after taking you for everything she could get in the divorce. I lean back in the restaurant booth. We're at Tony's, a family place where the food is good and nobody cares about drama. Emma looks beautiful in the soft lighting, and I'm struck again by how easy this is compared to the constant tension I lived with for years. I have an idea, I tell her. I'm listening. What if we let her know that we know? How? I pull out my phone and show her the text I've been composing. Melissa, Emma, and I found your apartment listings and job applications for Brandon. Interesting timeline. Hope you saved money for your own lawyer. Emma grins. Send it. I do, and we watch my phone for a response. It comes within minutes. I don't know what you're talking about. Emma takes my phone and types back. The listings in Phoenix and Denver? The ones from 6 months ago, before your marriage was supposedly in trouble? This time the response takes longer. You're both crazy. Crazy enough to hire a forensic accountant, Emma types. Amazing what they can find in credit card records. My phone starts ringing. Melissa. I answer on speaker. Hello, Melissa. What do you want? Her voice is tight, scared. I want you to stop lying about me to my clients. I don't know what... Mrs. Henderson told me about your call, and Mrs. Crane's call, and the 3 other people you've contacted this week. Silence. Here's what's going to happen, I continue. You're going to call each of those people back and tell them you were upset and said things that weren't true. You're going to apologize and set the record straight. And if I don't? Emma leans toward the phone. Then we release everything. The photos, the credit card statements, the apartment listings, all of it. Let everyone see who really destroyed this marriage. Another long silence. You have until Sunday night, I tell her. After that, we go public with everything. I hang up and look at Emma. Think she'll do it? She doesn't have a choice. Her reputation is all she has left. Emma's right. By Sunday evening, I've received apology calls from Mrs. Henderson, 2 other clients, and a very embarrassed Mrs. Crane who claims she misunderstood the situation. But Melissa's not done fighting. She's just changing tactics. Tuesday morning, I wake up to find my truck vandalized. All 4 tires are flat. Cheater is spray painted across the driver's side in bright red letters, and someone has poured what smells like fish sauce through the partially open window. The interior reeks like a seafood restaurant dumpster. I'm standing there surveying the damage when my neighbor, Mrs. Kowalski, comes out with her morning coffee. Happened around 3 a.m., she tells me. 3 women, one of them blonde, had a BMW. You didn't call the police? By the time I got to the phone, they were gone, but I got a partial plate number. She hands me a piece of paper with BLV4 written on it. Melissa's license plate starts with BLV 47. Thanks, Mrs. Kowalski. That woman's no good, Nick. Glad you finally figured it out. I call Emma, who arrives with coffee and sympathy. She takes photos of the damage while I call my insurance company. This is escalating, she says. Yeah, but she made a mistake. Mrs. Kowalski saw everything. Are you going to press charges? I consider it. Not yet, but I'm going to send a message. That afternoon, while Emma keeps watch, I pay a visit to Brandon's office building. His precious Porsche is parked in his reserved spot, gleaming silver and probably worth more than I make in 2 years. I don't damage it. That would be criminal. Instead, I remove the valve caps from all 4 tires and let the air out slowly. Then I place a business card under his windshield wiper, my business card, with a handwritten note. Pressure can be a problem. Thought you should know. It's petty, but it's legal, and it sends the message I want to send. Emma's waiting in her car when I walk back to the parking garage. How do you feel? Better. Good, because we're not done. She drives us to a coffee shop across from Melissa's office building. Through the window, we can see the marketing firm where Melissa works as an account executive. I did some research, Emma says, pulling out a folder. Your wife has been very busy at work. What kind of busy? The kind that involves long lunches with male clients, the kind that results in expensive gifts and personal shopping trips charged to company accounts. She shows me printouts of social media photos. Melissa with various men, always tagged at expensive restaurants during business hours. The timestamps show these client meetings often lasted 3 or 4 hours. How did you get this? Sophie Martinez. She works in accounting there. We went to high school together. I remember Sophie, quiet, observant, the type who notices everything but says nothing. She's been documenting Melissa's expense account irregularities for months, Emma continues. Apparently, your wife has been charging personal expenses to client accounts, then moving the money around to hide it. That's fraud. Yes, it is. Sophie's been waiting for someone to care enough to listen. I stare at the photos. Why now? Because Sophie heard about what Melissa's been saying about you. She doesn't like bullies. That evening, Emma and I meet Sophie at a quiet bar downtown. She's nervous but determined, clutching a manila folder like it contains state secrets. I should have reported this months ago, Sophie says, but Melissa's good at her job and I didn't want to rock the boat. What changed? I ask. She came in Monday morning bragging about how she was going to destroy you in the divorce. Said you'd be lucky to keep your truck when she was done. Sophie opens the folder and spreads out documents, expense reports, credit card statements, client billing records. She's been running personal expenses through 3 different client accounts, Sophie explains. Shopping trips, spa days, romantic dinners. Then she transfers legitimate business expenses to cover the discrepancies. How much money are we talking about? Roughly $15,000 over the past 6 months. I whistle low. That's a felony. Yes, it is, and I have documentation for all of it. Emma leans forward. What do you want to do with this information? Sophie looks directly at me. I want to give it to you. What you do with it is up to you. I take the folder, feeling its weight. Why? Because Melissa's been taking credit for my work for 2 years. Because she treats support staff like servants. And because what she's doing to you isn't right. That night, Emma and I sit in my kitchen going through Sophie's documentation. It's damning, a clear pattern of fraud that would result in immediate termination and possible criminal charges. You could destroy her career with this, Emma says. I know. Is that what you want? I think about it. About the years of lies, the financial betrayal, the character assassination campaign she's been running against me. She tried to destroy my business based on lies, I say finally. This is just the truth. So what's the plan? I'm about to answer when my phone rings. Unknown number. Nick Harper. You bastard. Brandon's voice, tight with rage. Hello, Brandon. How's the car? You think you're clever? Letting the air out of my tires? I think pressure can be a real problem. You should have that checked regularly. This ends now. I agree. Tell Melissa to stop vandalizing my property and we'll call it even. I don't know what you're talking about. Sure you don't. Blonde woman, BMW, 3 a.m., ring any bells? Silence. Here's what's going to happen, I continue. You and Melissa are going to leave me alone. No more phone calls, no more property damage, no more lies to my clients. In return, I won't press charges for vandalism or share some interesting financial documents I've recently acquired. What financial documents? I look at Emma, who nods encouragingly. The ones that show Melissa's been embezzling from her company to fund your relationship. $15,000 over 6 months. All documented. Another long silence. You're bluffing. Am I? Want to test that theory? What do you want? I want you both to disappear from my life. Completely. No contact, no interference, no drama. Do that, and these documents stay private. And if we don't? Then I send them to Melissa's boss, the police, and the state attorney's office. Your choice. I hang up and look at Emma. Think that'll work? For a while, but they're not going to just give up. She's right. An hour later, my phone starts buzzing with texts from Melissa. You can't prove anything. Those documents are fake. I'll sue you for harassment. Brandon has lawyers. I show them to Emma, who shakes her head. She's panicking. Good. But Emma looks worried. Panicked people do stupid things, Nick. We need to be careful. What do you mean? I mean, Melissa's not going to just roll over and accept defeat. She's going to escalate again. Let her try. I'm done being the victim here. Emma takes my hand. Just promise me you'll be careful. I don't want anything to happen to you. The concern in her voice, the warmth of her touch, it hits me how much my life has changed in just 2 weeks, how much better it's gotten despite all the drama. I promise, I tell her. Besides, I've got you watching my back now. She smiles. Yes, you do. That night, Emma stays over. Nothing happens. We're both too emotionally drained for anything beyond holding each other, but it feels right, natural. Like this is how things were always supposed to be. I'm almost asleep when I hear it, a car engine idling outside. I get up quietly and look out the window. A silver Porsche is parked across the street, engine running, headlights off. Brandon. I watch for 10 minutes, but he doesn't get out, doesn't approach the house. He's just sitting there, watching. Finally, the car drives away. I don't tell Emma about it in the morning. She's worried enough already, but I make a mental note to be more careful, to watch my surroundings. Because Emma's right, this isn't over, not even close. The next escalation comes 3 days later, and it's not what I expected. I'm at the Morrison job site, installing new cabinets, when my phone rings. The caller ID shows Emma's work number, which is strange because she usually calls from her cell. Nick? Her voice is shaky, upset. What's wrong? I'm at the police station. They arrested me. My blood turns to ice. What? Why? Harassment. Melissa filed a complaint saying I've been stalking her, sending threatening messages. That's impossible. You've been with me. I know that. You know that. But she has screenshots of text messages supposedly from my phone. I'm already heading for my truck. I'll be right there. Nick, there's more. She's claiming you put me up to it, that you're using me to harass her because you can't do it yourself. Did you call a lawyer? I can't afford a lawyer. I'll handle it. Don't say anything else until I get there. The drive to the police station takes forever. My mind is racing, trying to figure out how Melissa managed this. Emma's been with me almost every evening for the past week. When would she have had time to send threatening messages? The answer hits me as I'm parking. She didn't. Someone faked the messages. At the station, I ask for Officer Deacon, a guy I know from high school who's always been straight with me. He comes out looking uncomfortable. Nick, this is awkward. Tom, Emma didn't send those messages. She's been with me. I believe you, but we have to investigate. The screenshots look legitimate. Can I see them? He shows me printouts of text messages supposedly from Emma's phone to Melissa's. They're nasty. Threats about ruining her reputation, warnings to stay away from me, accusations about her work conduct. Tom, these are fake. How can you be sure? Because Emma doesn't write like this. Look at the grammar, the word choices. This isn't her voice. That's not exactly evidence, Nick. Then let me show you some real evidence. I pull out my phone and show him the photos Emma and I took together, time-stamped for the same times as the alleged threatening messages. She was with me when these were supposedly sent. Tom studies the photos, comparing timestamps. This helps, but we still need to process everything. How long will that take? Few hours, maybe overnight. Can I see her? 5 minutes. Emma's in a holding cell, looking smaller and more vulnerable than I've ever seen her. When she sees me, her eyes fill with tears. I'm sorry, she says. I never meant for you to get dragged into this. This isn't your fault. Melissa's getting desperate. The messages, Nick, they're things I might have thought but never would have said. Someone knows me well enough to fake my voice. Someone like your former best friend? Emma nods miserably. She knows how I write, how I think. She could easily fake messages that sound like me. Did you tell the police that? I tried, but they say I would naturally claim the messages were fake. I take her hands through the bars. I'm going to get you out of here. How? By proving who really sent those messages. I leave Emma with a promise to return soon and drive straight to Sophie's apartment. She answers the door in pajamas, looking surprised to see me. Nick, what's wrong? I explain the situation quickly. Sophie's face grows dark as I describe the fake messages. That's exactly the kind of thing Melissa would do, she says. Come in, I want to show you something. She leads me to her home office, where she's got a computer set up that would make a hacker jealous. I've been doing some digging since we talked, she says, pulling up files on her screen. Melissa's been busy online. She shows me social media accounts, forum posts, even dating profiles, all under fake names, but all traceable back to Melissa through various digital breadcrumbs. She's been creating fake personas for months, Sophie explains. Look at this. She pulls up a dating profile for someone named Sarah M., with photos that are clearly Melissa, just cropped and filtered heavily. She's been dating other men while married to you and dating Brandon, Sophie says. This profile has been active for 8 months. How many men? At least 6 that I can find. All wealthy, all divorced or divorcing. I stare at the screen. She's not just a cheater, she's a predator. Gets worse. Look at this forum. Sophie shows me posts on a divorce advice forum where Melissa, under another fake name, has been asking for advice on how to maximize financial gain in divorce proceedings. The posts detail strategies for hiding assets, making spouses look abusive, and manipulating custody arrangements. She's been planning this for almost a year, I realize, and learning from other people's successes. Look at this post. Sophie points to a message where Melissa asks about framing someone for harassment using fake text messages. She got the idea from other people who've done it. Can you prove she sent these messages? Sophie grins. Already working on it. Give me 2 hours. While Sophie works her digital magic, I drive back to Brandon's office building. His Porsche is in its usual spot, but this time I'm not here for petty revenge. I wait in the lobby until he comes down for lunch. He sees me and immediately looks around for security. Relax, I tell him. I'm not here to fight. What do you want? I want to make you an offer. He looks suspicious but curious. What kind of offer? Melissa's been lying to you. About what? About everything. Did you know she's been dating other men while she's been with you? His face goes pale. You're lying. I pull out my phone and show him screenshots of the dating profile Sophie found. This profile's been active for 8 months. While she was married to me and dating you, she was also seeing at least 6 other guys. Brandon stares at the photos. This could be fake. Could be. But why would I fake something you can verify yourself? The profile's still active. Send her a message from a fake account and see what happens. He hands my phone back, but I can see the doubt in his eyes now. There's more, I continue. She's been stealing from her company to fund these dates. With you, with me, with all the others. Why are you telling me this? Because she framed Emma for harassment, and I want it to stop. You seem like a decent guy who got caught up in something bigger than you realized. Brandon looks around the lobby, then back at me. What do you want me to do? Help me prove Emma didn't send those messages. How? By admitting that you and Melissa faked them together. His face hardens. I didn't fake anything. Maybe not. But you know who did, don't you? He doesn't answer, but his expression tells me everything. Brandon, she's using you, just like she used me, just like she's using those other guys. When this all falls apart, do you really think she's going to protect you? I leave him standing there and drive back to Sophie's apartment. She's grinning when she opens the door. Got her, she announces. How? The messages were sent using a spoofing app that makes texts appear to come from different numbers, but the app keeps logs on its servers and I found them. Is that legal? The app's logs are public record if you know where to look, and I know where to look. She shows me the evidence, server logs proving the messages came from Melissa's phone, not Emma's. The timestamps, the IP addresses, everything. This will hold up in court? I ask. Absolutely. I've already sent copies to the police. My phone rings. Officer Deacon. Nick, you need to get down here. We're releasing Emma and we want to talk about pressing charges against your wife. We'll be right there. An hour later, Emma's free and Melissa's facing charges for filing a false police report and harassment. Emma throws her arms around me in the parking lot, and for a moment, everything feels right with the world. Thank you, she whispers. Thanks, Sophie. She's the one who proved your innocence. Emma looks at Sophie, who's been quietly watching our reunion. How can I ever repay you? Help me nail Melissa for the embezzlement. I'm tired of watching her get away with everything. I look at these two women who've stood by me when it mattered, and I make a decision. Let's finish this. The plan comes together over pizza and beer in my kitchen that night. Emma, Sophie, and I spread out all our evidence like generals planning a battle. We have enough to destroy her professionally, Sophie says, organizing the embezzlement documents. And personally, Emma adds, pointing to the dating profiles and forum posts. But we need to be smart about this, I say. She's already shown she'll escalate when cornered. So we don't corner her, Emma suggests. We give her a choice. What kind of choice? Sophie looks up from her laptop. The kind where all her options are bad, but one is slightly less catastrophic. We work until midnight, crafting our approach. By the time we're done, I almost feel sorry for Melissa. The next morning, I call her. What do you want, Nick? To meet. One last time. Bring Brandon. Why would I do that? Because if you don't, I'm sending a very interesting package to your boss, your parents, and the state attorney's office. Silence. Where and when? Riverside Park, the pavilion by the lake, 2 o'clock. This better not be some kind of trap. No trap, just a conversation. I hang up and look at Emma. You sure about this? Positive. It's time to end it. At 2 o'clock, Emma and I are sitting at a picnic table in the pavilion when Melissa and Brandon arrive. Melissa looks nervous, Brandon looks angry, and both of them look like they'd rather be anywhere else. Nice spot, Melissa says, sitting across from us. Very public. That's the idea, I reply. I want witnesses for this conversation. Brandon remains standing, arms crossed. Get to the point. I slide a manila folder across the table. Everything's in there. The embezzlement evidence, the fake dating profiles, the forum posts about manipulating divorce proceedings, the server logs proving you faked the harassment messages. Melissa opens the folder and goes pale as she flips through the pages. This is all fake, she says, but her voice lacks conviction. Sophie Martinez compiled most of it, Emma says. Your coworker, the one whose work you've been taking credit for. Brandon looks over Melissa's shoulder at the documents. Jesus Christ, Mel. Is this real? It's taken out of context. Which part? I ask. The $15,000 you stole from your company? The 6 men you've been dating behind both our backs? Or the detailed plans to frame me for abuse? Brandon steps back from Melissa like she's radioactive. You told me you'd only been with him since your marriage ended. I never said that exactly. You're dating other men? Brandon's voice rises. It's complicated. No, it's not, Emma interjects. It's fraud. Multiple counts. I lean forward. Here's what's going to happen. You have 2 choices, Melissa. I'm listening. Choice 1. You disappear. Quit your job, leave town, start over somewhere else. In exchange, we don't press charges and we keep this evidence private. And choice 2? We release everything. The police get the embezzlement evidence, your company gets the documentation of theft and fraud, and social media gets the dating profiles and forum posts. Melissa looks at Brandon, who's staring at her like he's seeing her for the first time. You planned all of this, he says slowly. The whole thing was a setup. Brandon, let me explain. Explain what? That you've been using me? That you're a criminal? He turns to me. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I believe you. Brandon walks away without another word. Melissa starts to follow him, but Emma blocks her path. He's done with you, Emma says. We all are. Melissa turns back to me, desperation in her eyes. Nick, please, we can work this out. No, we can't. You made your choice months ago when you decided to destroy our marriage for money. It wasn't about money. Really? Then what was the $15,000 for? What were the multiple dating profiles for? What was the detailed plan to take everything I own for? She can't answer because we both know the truth. You have until Monday to decide, I tell her. After that, choice 1 is off the table. Melissa gathers up the documents and leaves without another word. Emma and I sit in silence for a while, watching the lake. Think she'll take the deal? Emma asks. Honestly, I don't care anymore. Either way, she's out of my life. And either way, she faces consequences for what she did. Yeah. Emma takes my hand. How do you feel? I consider the question. Free. For the first time in years, I feel free. That weekend, Melissa calls twice. I don't answer. She sends texts that I delete without reading. On Sunday night, she shows up at my house. I answer the door but don't invite her in. I'll take the deal, she says. Smart choice. I need time to arrange things. You have 2 weeks. After that, if you're still in town, all bets are off. She nods and turns to leave, then stops. For what it's worth, I am sorry. No, you're not. You're sorry you got caught. She doesn't argue because we both know I'm right. 2 weeks later, Melissa's gone. Her apartment is empty, her job is vacant, and her social media profiles have disappeared. Sophie heard through the grapevine that she moved to Arizona, but nobody seems to know for sure. Brandon, meanwhile, has been telling anyone who'll listen that he was deceived and manipulated. Whether that's true or just damage control, I don't care. He's not my problem anymore. Emma and I are having dinner at Tony's again, celebrating the end of the saga, when she asks the question I've been expecting. What happens now? With us, I mean. I reach across the table and take her hand. I was hoping you'd move in with me. She smiles. I was hoping you'd ask. Consider it asked. Then consider it accepted. That night, as we're loading Emma's things into my truck, I find myself thinking about the past month. About how everything I thought I knew about my life turned out to be wrong. About how losing everything led to finding something better. Regrets? Emma asks, following my gaze to the house where she used to live. Only one. What's that? That I didn't see through Melissa's lies sooner. Emma considers this. Maybe you weren't ready to see them. Maybe you needed to go through all this to get to where you are now. Where am I now? She kisses me, soft and sweet and full of promise. Home. As we drive away from Emma's old apartment toward our new life together, I realize she's right. I am home. Finally. And Melissa? Wherever she is, whatever she's doing, she's someone else's problem now. I hope she's learned something from all this, but I doubt it. People like her rarely do. But that's not my concern anymore. My concern is the woman sitting beside me, the job I love, and the future we're building together. A future built on truth instead of lies, trust instead of manipulation, and love instead of convenience. A future that's finally, completely mine.